Hey, good morning, everybody. Jeff here. So I figured last night, mailman, I should say the Amazon Prime driver, brought me a long-awaited release in the mail. It has been about, golly jeepers, 5, 6 years since the last release, but yes, finally got Senjutsu, I guess is the proper pronunciation of the new Iron Maiden album. You can see it's got like a samurai theme to it this time around, and artwork as usual is, over the top, amazing, slightly on the, semi-grotesque side. It's what they keep doing to Eddie here, but it is a triple record release. Now my understanding was, I guess this was recorded in 2019ish and supposed to be released in 2020, or recorded in 2020, or yeah, it was supposed to be released in 2020, but the whole COVID thing messed everything up. So anyway, this came in. I've only gotten a chance to listen to one side. I've seen the video. I got the regular black, no vinyl colors here. The colors, I thought, well, I could track them down. You can get them at Walmart, things like that. But I wasn't. I was just like, for the price, I'll just stick with black, and fine. Anyway, 3 album set, and I got a lot of glare. These things are very shiny, so lots of glare. You can see the beautiful additional artwork here. The backs are, they got like a Japanese look with the lyrics, and that's basically how they all 3 are, which is very reminiscent of what I want to do is go ahead and just briefly run through my Iron Maiden collection. So anyway, like I was saying, last night I listened to the first record of this before my wife came in and said, hey, let's watch this movie, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, hey, I heard about that movie that, it nobody can understand it. It makes no sense. And we're like, well, let's give it a shot. And so we watched it. And after 2.5 hours, it didn't make any sense. So anyway, I didn't get a chance to listen to the whole album. But what I want to do is, but what I heard was really good. Really, Iron Maiden, epic songs, storytelling, things along that line. So I'm looking forward to finishing listening to that. I wanted to run through my Iron Maiden collection real quick. I figured, hey, let's do a collection video while we're at it. Now, when it comes to the vinyl record side of things, I still have a long way to go. And I was going to just briefly, I was going to show those and then briefly run through the CDs. So we do have, and I'm not going to pull them all out, we do have the Legacy of the Beast, which was the live album that came out. As you can see, a lot of the artwork on the insides, are just, I don't know, especially in Book of Souls, you'll see where it, I'm assuming it's the same design guy, because they just have a look and feel that's very similar. Anyway, this is I think the tricolor Walmart one. It's on the green, red, and white, I believe. Anyway, it's a triple live album that came out like last year. Then we got the Book of Souls, the live version, and I got to see them on this tour. And I think there might even, I'm not sure if there's a song from our show on this record, but there might be. Again, it's a triple live album. I believe these are all on black. So pick that. Now, Book of Souls itself, which is a 2015 release, this was one of the first vinyl records I purchased once I got back into buying records in early 2017, because a friend of mine's like, the mixing on the vinyl is different than the mixing on the CD. It's definitely mixed for vinyl, and so I wanted to have something that was really, that much of a difference. So I grabbed this, and I haven't done a side-by-side comparison, but this is what I was talking about. See the artwork in here, and again, you open this up, it's a try-open with the beautiful thing, but you look at the parchment look and everything, you can just see that it appears that I don't know, very similar design. Love the artwork. Great stuff the way they do theirs. And then when it goes from there, these I've recently shown not too long ago, A Matter of Life and Death. I picked up a couple of these actually just a couple months ago, some of the later year stuff, because I found them on sale. So I got that and Brave New World. Now the same place I got these, I did just order the X Factor because it was on sale. Life After Death, the classic live album. I saw this tour also back in the day. I believe this was a show that I saw that I think I've talked about before, where Wasp opened for them. So it was a great show. And then all I've got is these, the first album and then the third album. So I do have a long way to go, especially in the early years, as far as picking up the various vinyl releases. Just that they've got so much, and some of them I'll probably never get my hands on, just because a lot of those things were come and gone in recent years. So let me just real briefly run through the CD. I got pretty much everything on CD, though I was surprised. I noticed when I was going back to here that I'm like, I don't have a copy of the X Factor on CD. I didn't really like the Blaze Bayley years as much, and I do have a copy of Virtual, the other one, and I see that I'd picked it up at a used record store, probably in the past 15 years. But for some reason, I must have never went back and picked up the X Factor. So I have the enhanced CD version of the original, Bruce Dickinson year releases. Now, they've released these more than once, and the idea was you put them all together and you got a picture of Eddie from the first album, but they had more than one edition of these releases, and I have an intermingling of the various versions. They're all like enhanced CDs, so they all have like some bonus footage on them, but they were made at different times, and so the pictures of the two or more different series don't quite match up. So you can see my Eddie is kind of disjointed looking because, again, I think that it was released at one point and then they released it at another point, possibly with like the live album I think might have been thrown in, or one of the albums was changed, and so it extended the picture in the second go round. But anyway, just kind of thought it was funny as I'm looking through those. So we do have the first album with different artwork cover there. We got Killers, and again, these are they're enhanced. Some of these I have a bonus disc from the earlier, was it Sanctuary releases that came as like a 2-disc set, and I kept some of the 2 discs of those. Number the Beast, Peace of Mind, Powerslave, that's the tour that we saw. Great stuff. I saw them for earlier tours too. Life After Death, Somewhere in Time, Seventh Son of the Seventh Son, No Prayer for the Dying. Obviously I picked that up at some point in a used bin. Fear of the Dark, and then Live at Donington was part of that too. So those are like the original part of that set that had the picture on the side of Eddie. Then you moved into the non-related. Now there were some in here that were like intermingled stuff, but that box set that they had, I never got the entire metal box set with the shot glass and all that, but I do have some of the releases. Beast Over Hammersmith, the B-sides releases. Some of these came in that, and I had picked them up separately. The BBC Archives, and then some singles. The Trooper, these I think came out in the past like 10 years or so, maybe a little longer. Purgatory, backed with Made in Japan EP that came out a while back. A real live one and a real dead one. I believe these were later released as a double record set. And yeah, Virtual 11, I guess like I said, I picked that up, and I can tell from the sticker that it was a local place. So at some point I must have got rid of the Blaze Bayley ones, and then later in life, because this is probably 15 years since I bought that. I haven't been to that store in a long time. But I do not have the other one. So, and then Brave New World. More here. We got some singles again. Rainmaker, Rock and Rio, Dance of Death, another single, Different World, Death on the Road, A Matter of Life and Death. What's up with all this death? Anyway. And then Flight 666, which is basically just a, this is based on a movie, kind of a soundtrack for that. This is the Final Frontier. This is like the steel box set which just means it's in a steel box. It doesn't want to fit on your shelf because for the most part it's just your booklet and a CD and a plastic sleeve. I believe this is the way it came from. I don't know. Did I get this from Walmart or something? But sticker on the back that's kind of already starting to bubble. Not the greatest packing idea. And then In Vivo, another live album. A lot of these are triple live records that I have yet to get my hands on. And then next we've got, the various DVD video releases. Again, we've got Live After Death, concert footage, made in England, 1988. This was actually not released not too terribly long ago. Great stuff. Live at Donington. This is like a bootleg. Somebody made that. Bought it online a long time ago. I'm not sure if there is an official. I don't know if there's an official actual DVD of that out. Raising Hell. This was a interesting. What was this, on TV or pay-per-view or something, where they had a magician come out and do some stuff before the show? But anyway, great concert footage. Rock in Rio. The early days. This is really cool, kind of documentary type style, where they got all the old stuff, the whole backstory, all the videos, everything from the early days, double set. Just, I love those type of things. Visions of the Beast. This is pretty much every video they've ever released on 2 discs. Complete video history. Death on the Road. All I remember, obviously these are great stuff, but for whoever made this video, I just remember it's almost one of those things that gives you like an epileptic seizure, it seems like, because the cut scenes between clips, they literally stay on at least maybe 1 second, and then it jumps to the next scene, and it's bounce, 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 bounce. You're like, whoa, I can't even see what's going on. Can you stop? And it got really irritating really quick. It was just, the cuts were too fast. That's what I recall when I was watching this back in the day. Should revisit that. In Vivo, this is kind of like a steel box edition, double, but it's in one of those, steel boxes. Nice. And if I recall, when I pulled this out, I'm like, well, at least it's not as crazily cut as as the other one. Anyway, Flight 666, the film. Again, documentary, talks about the band going on tour. Bruce Dickinson, the singer, is a pilot, and they got this entire big plane that they gutted out and put all the equipment on there, and they fly around, and Bruce flies them from show to show. This is basically a movie about that. So it's a great movie, and then, it's got a soundtrack, which I believe is live clips, which I think is what that album was. It's been a while since I've watched that. Yeah. Amazing tour. Anyway, that's it. I think that's it. I have some other, just junky CDs and stuff laying around that are just like bootleg stuff. But that's my Iron Maiden collection. New Iron Maiden now about. I'm looking forward to listening to the rest of it today. Great stuff. Love them. Have loved them since I discovered them around. I think I finally got into them around the time Bruce Dickinson joined around Number the Beast. So I was one of those latecomers that came in after the Paul Di'Anno years and jumped on the Bruce train, and have been a huge fan ever since then. Seen him in concert quite a few times and love him. Great new album. I'm sure it's going to be just as great as their last, and I'm looking forward to giving the rest of the spin. Thanks for watching. I'll be back. Rock on and rock hard.